after a week off, iRacing Superspeedway becomes the home of race number 3 of the Superspeedway King Series from Sim500 as we welcome you on this Sunday evening to the Captain Esports Network coverage of the Sim500 Superspeedway League. Tonight is race number 3, trucks at this 3-mile fantasy track, we'll call it, on a simulator. A track formerly known as Coca-Cola Speedway, if you remember the old NASCAR Racing 03 game. But tonight, it is iRacing Superspeedway, and it's race number 3 of the series. You see the temp, 78 degrees, 56% humidity, partly cloudy skies. And well, it says Concord is the city location. I think it's actually up in Connecticut somewhere. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to pick a random town tonight that this Speedway's in because it doesn't exist. So as far as I'm concerned, it is in the town of Economy, Indiana. Only because I've driven through there a couple times. 64 laps tonight, stage points in lap 32 this evening. There won't be a heat race as we got kind of a smaller field, but qualifying is going on right now on the track. We'll go down and cover it here in just a second. But thanks to our good friends over at the Sim Racer Hub, we bring you the point standings right now as of race number 2. Daniel Falkingham leads right now in the points by 4 over John Berry. Kevin D. Brown is third. Richard Beasley, Doy Woods, your top 5. But as I mentioned, kind of a smaller crowd tonight, so we're going to see some shuffling in the points after it is all said and done here in this 10-race Super Speedway Series schedule that is going on right now as the cars are on the track. Again, they get ready for the main event here this evening. It is Tony Skirbo who won up. Now Kevin England up there to the pole as these guys get out here and run laps as of right now. So let's get down there to the track if I can get this thing to cooperate with me. Never does. There we go. That's your current pole sitter right there, Kevin England. Let's jump down to Cal and Tony just getting out there on the track. As Skirbo goes back to the top, so let's see if England can return a favor. Down there in the bottom, if they're in purple, that means they're running the pole lap right now. If they're in green, they're running faster than their first lap. If they are in the yellow, it's not so good of a lap. You see Tyler Dalton jumps to the front. Wetzel jumped up there for a second. Mike Montesi jumps to the front. Montesi, I should know that by now. Jimmy Coleman up to 4th. Let's see where the 127 only jumps up to 6th. Look at those times and how close together they are. Here's Kevin D. Brown out on track right now in the 93. Some call him Kevin Duh Brown. So we can call him Duh Brown if you want to, or he could win Duh Pole if he runs the fastest lap. Right now, though, it doesn't look like it's going to be a pole lap. It's going to be 11th, 2/10 off right now, but he should go faster here on lap 2, you would think. Kevin across the halfway point here. Yep, still green, so nobody right now on a pole lap. Brings it through turn 3 and 4 onto the front straightaway. How about we turn the audio of the cars up? Should we do that? Yeah, let's get some audio on the car. And Kevin actually goes a little bit faster, up to 5th, 7/100ths off the pole. Let's see Matthew Baker out on track right now. Callan Tony out there running. Williams on track. J. Randall Watkins as qualifying ends at the 5-minute mark. So it'll be a quick warm-up. Congratulations as we see the pole sitter going to be Tyler Dalton in the 19, his second straight pole after winning a Talladega pole, or a Daytona pole, I should say, just last week. So that's where we will line up here, is they'll go out here and warm up for a quick minute or two and get everything, I guess, warmed up, so to say. But let's bring Tyler up here, hanging out in the Sim500 Mafia channel right now. Tyler, congratulations on the pole once again. 2 for 2 here the last 2 weeks, even though we had a week off in between. But got to feel pretty good to be able to lead him to the green again.
Yeah, it's always good to get a pole here. In this league, it seems like that's one thing I'm good at. So we go out there every week and at least try to sit on the pole. I left a little bit on the table there, but luckily it stood up.
What have you learned in the first 2 weeks of racing here that you've been able to bring to tonight to maybe help strategize a way to get to the checkered flag first?
Try to be in the front of the rack.
That's pretty fair. That's pretty simple too. Well, we wish you the best tonight, man. Congratulations on your second pole already of the season, and go get him.
Thank you.
That is Tyler Dalton, the pole sitter tonight. As we line up here and take a look at the starting lineup for the race. Yes, you might notice I'm using a little bit of a different ticker tonight, and for those who have been around me a while, you know this one. This is the old one that I started using with
coming out tonight.
SDK Gaming. But it's one that has been requested by a lot of the league owners I work with to bring back. They liked it, and I was like, all right, let's do it. Not that the other one wasn't good, just people like this one. So I was like, okay. And so here we are, going with this tonight, and this is the lineup. Tyler Dalton next to Mike Montesi, Bobby Wetzel, Jimmy Coleman. Row number 2, row 3, Kevin D. Brown and John Barry. Row 4, Tony Skirbo and Kevin England. Mike Muncie and Christopher Jordan there in row number 5. Row 6, Doug Sigmund, Noah Carmichael. Row number 7 is Anthony Colantoni and Matthew Baker. Row number 8, Daniel Falkingham and Pedro Mojica. Falkingham has had a really good race these first 2 events of the season, so we'll have to keep an eye on him tonight. He could be one to watch. Chad Coleman, the Georgia driver there, just learned he lives literally 30 minutes out to where I live. And Richard Beasley. Mike Kelly and Eric Arnold. Christopher Williams, Randy Yoakum in row 11. Row 12, Jeff Ryan and J. Randall Watkins. I think somebody's spinning back there. And Joseph Burgess looks like will be the 25th starter in this race. So tonight will be 64 laps, as I mentioned, 25 or 624, if you know the song by Chicago. And we will have the lap 32 will be where stage points will be awarded to the top 10 from 10 down to 1. And so on and so forth. They do not do stage cautions, just straight on through is what they do. .36 degrees of banking, which is the equivalent of the old Bristol. If you remember the way Bristol used to be set up back in the day, that is the banking there. If you look at the track itself, it kind of has a Martinsville look on the map. It drives like Dover when you look at the way it dives into the corners and back out, but you're going 220 miles an hour in a truck with the draft and much, much more. Green flag, iRacing Superspeedway. Now, if the trend continues correctly tonight, with the patience that these guys have shown, we should see some really good racing, good side-by-side, 2x2, and maybe even 3x3 racing as the 21 of Montesi going to go to the front. Jimmy Coleman, John Barry, Kevin Brown. Yeah, you got to be very careful the way these trucks turn into these corners because it is a very sharp left-hander. Lap 1 in the books as Montesi leads. I think you're going to see a lot of patience out of these trucks here tonight. I say that as the outside line with Christopher Williams and Eric Arnold. The Oreo truck up there on the outside trying to work down high line as they pass that throwback Tony Stewart 2001 Daytona truck. Classic race where he got black flagged and refused to pit. Was in that paint scheme, I believe. As I mentioned, if you haven't seen these guys do some racing around this track, it has been fantastic. Oh, I say that as somebody's trying to shoot the middle there, that 39 car truck. Walkingham, he was looking for somewhere to go and almost had some issues there, but thankfully they backed out of it and everything's okay now. Of course, we have our cameras tonight, onboard cameras presented by TrackCams 4 Gourmet. You can check them out online, trackcams22.com. There you go, 230 miles an hour in a truck. Of course, they have oval, road course, and also rallycross track cameras you can check out. You see the truck almost bottom out right there the way that angle is. The outside line, here comes the Daytona winner, John Barry, to the outside. That 74 truck. Kevin D. Brown right there behind him, pushing him, but you see the pack of about 24 trucks. The only truck not in the pack is the one with heavy nose damage. Kevin England, not sure what happened to him. See if I can find it really quickly. But Kevin England had some issues. Unfortunately, no caution came from it. I do not see anything on my events page here, so something happened there to the 121 truck, or 127, sorry. Across the line there, 74 leads it with Brown all over his bumper, pushing him. Tailgate riding. Walkingham got himself all shuffled out of line, it looks like there, unfortunately. So I did get to look over some things during the off week in the series that these first two races have brought us, and some interesting factoids that we'll share with you. Tyler Dalton has led the most laps so far in the first two races with 38. Of course, he did not lead the first lap here this evening. The guy who just took the lead, Kevin D. Brown, he is second. And I was going to add to that total. Looks like if he can get across the start-finish line first with the champion from last season there, Beasley, has now moved to second. That 31 truck, though, hey, Arnold, coming to the front. Best average finish so far out of the first two races has actually been Walkingham with a 3.5. For those who don't know the math, that would be a second and a fourth. Actually, no, second and sixth, actually. Sorry, I don't know math. And Joseph Burgess, actually the top driver that has started two races in the series so far this season, with the lowest incident points per race at 8.5. So he has one incident point in two races. That's pretty impressive. Hello, Sam. And here comes the champ to the outside line, Mr. Beasley. You see the straightaway brings a really good draft, but it's that inside line when you get through the corners, unless you got somebody right on your back bumper and maybe can side draft a little bit as they're going to go by the lap truck of England real quickly here. Got to be very careful, though, if you're those trucks trying to get around them. Yeah, I was hoping maybe tonight, but that didn't happen with some other things going on. Yeah. I plan to rebroadcast the whole entire race. It's just a matter of when. That's the million-dollar question right now. But, yes, it will get done. Man, look at this. Speaking of being done, 3 wide in a turn 1 to 21 with an elevator move to the bottom. Montesi. Thy taketh. They were 4 wide for a second there in turn 1 also. Well, unfortunately, some other factors have come into play, too, that were out of our control, unfortunately. Well, oh, contact there, the 9. Nice save on his part. Or was that Yoakum in the 8? That is Yoakum. What a save, though, on his part. Sure, he's not going to be happy about that. .74 there in the middle, getting shuffled out. He's caught in a trap, can't walk out. He's got the 3 behind him. Jeff Ryan got some damage on that side. So that Bass Pro Shop's number 3. Well, these trucks are not playing games tonight. Look at the 31 of Arnold go to the front now. With help from the 84 of Calantoni. Definitely with the right pushes and the right line, you can get to the front, it looks like. There are stages. There's one stage. There's 2 stages. There's not a caution at that stage, though. So they go straight green the whole way. And until they wreck. If they wreck. Right now, 12 laps in. The 31's going to get shuffled. Here I am stuck in the middle with you. I don't know why I'm referencing a bunch of 80 songs here tonight and 70 songs, but it's happening. Just like the 93 of Kevin D. Brown back to the front. Look at the 9 of Bobby Wetzel. That Haviland paint scheme up there. Up the track he goes. See, if you look at the way they transition into the corners and out of the corners. Oh, he's going to do it. This is where the Dover part comes in, the way it just kind of transitions into the corner. And then it kind of climbs out, but you stay on the bottom of the track instead of sliding up. It's almost like you ramp out of the corner. Wetzel has gone to the lead. What a move on his part there, sticking it through the middle. And great racing by everybody else to be aware of what's going on. But everybody wants to lead. Tyler Dalton coming back up the middle in that 19 truck. Oh, the Wetzel truck, the 9, sticking the 84, 3 wide, almost 4 wide. I mean, this truck's got room enough to go almost 7 wide if you want. Fantastic stuff here, 14 laps in. Check back here, Doug Sigmund, the 04 truck. I don't want to say he might be the smartest one in this race right now, but he might be the smartest one in this race right now. Sitting back here, hanging out, watching everything go on up there in front of him in the 24th position. Oh, as we see smoke, and they are wrecking up ahead. Oh, it's Tyler Dalton is one of the trucks. Eric Arnold's the other. 2 truck accident, it looks like. Turn 3 and 4 bringing out the first caution. Let's see what transpires here as we were on board there with the 24 truck. Do we have a bump draft gone wrong? Oh, no, the 10 truck gets turned. At him, the 5. Looks like Yoakum gets some, or not Yoakum, but, oh, nice miss there. The 3 truck of Ryan gets some damage, it looks like, but it starts with the 10, actually, of Richard Beasley, who's up in smoke. So the champion, unfortunately. Beasley up there going for the lead, and let's see if maybe Kevin just got to his left rear. Oh, no, contact from that second place truck. That miss right there by Falkingham's impressive. Now, the next question, was there net code? Let's go to what I call the net code cam. Yeah, I think we know the answer. Kevin Brown with the miss. Well, great job by everybody as here we go, pit stops. Has no resets in the league. So unfortunately you got what you got. You see the pit stops down there at the bottom, the top 4 positions. As easily off pit road, it will be Wetzel at 11.9. Montesi second. Kevin D. Brown will be third, it looks like. All right, so as we're under caution here for the first time, we have 16 laps to go before we get to that stage mark where we'll give away bonus points. I want to bring up, let's bring up Bobby Wetzel here for a second. Bobby Wetzel, whose photo here in Discord is Patrick Stewart. That's kind of an interesting one. As Mr. Wetzel joins us here. Bobby, you're leading this race right now, but that looked like a lot of either fun or stress in the middle of that pack.
Well, it's a combination of both. You can get a heck of a run in these cars. It really reminds me of the Indy cars at Indianapolis. So when you get a run, you got to go. If you don't, you're going to fall back. So it's a combination of the two.
Is that what we're seeing tonight? Is more like obviously the trucks are getting a run and they're making the moves because of it, or is it more of just maybe being a little aggressive, knowing that you can make these moves out here on a big track?
Well, I'm basically just using a lot of the IndyCar experience to realize, okay, if I get a good run, I'm going to make it. I'm going to go for it. And if I see someone coming that has a run, I'm not going to block them, because if you try to block here, it's just suicidal.
Fair enough. Nice, impressive move up the middle there as we rode on board with you when you did it.
Yeah, that 4 wide move. Yeah, that was the desperation more than anything else.
Well, you had to run, as you said, off the corner, and you said you were going to take it. You took it. And were you worried about that middle, like, just not opening up?
Well, if it didn't open up, I was going to have to back it down, but it was there, so I was like, well,
Fair
let's
enough.
see what happens.
Well, nice job so far, man. You got plenty of laps to go here.
All right, thanks, man.
Bobby Wetzel there leading right now. Kevin D. Brown in second. Of course, he's got Montesi in third. Kelly and Baker, your top five. Now, 39 is on pit road with, he must have gotten damaged in that wreck. He's been on pit road here for a lap at least. So not sure what is going on there, but Kevin England is trying to get his truck fixed. He is back on the lead lap now as we get ready to come to the green flag. Pace truck pulls in. As Wetzel, Brown, Montesi, Kelly, and Baker are going to lead him to the green flag here. Good jump from the 9. See immediately the front 7 goes single file. I say that as Kevin D. Brown jumps out of line. Going to bring Mike Kelly with him. And I think for the second straight start or restart, the pole sitter for that start is not going to lead the first lap. So that might be something to take note of. Maybe the outside line, the way to go. And how about that 58 truck and the old Kyle Busch rollback? Back when he ran the, let's see, Ditech. Let's see, that would have been, I got to think about this one for a second. The Hendrick days, I know that for sure, as Wetzel comes back and takes the lead back. That and when he ran for Billy Blue. See if everybody kind of settles down a little bit as the racing really started to pick up there in the last few laps of that run. I say that right as they're, 2 and 3 wide again. Doug Sigmund just ran the fastest lap and he's in the 19th position right now. That just shows you how the draft works in these trucks. Pretty impressive. As look at the front is Pedro Mojica, the 58 truck, going to go to the front with help from John Barry. So we'll have to keep track of people who have not led laps so far this evening in this race, because I think by the end of it, it might not be many. So Barry going to go to P2. That 5 truck on the outside, that is Baker, Matthew Baker. Starting to make an appearance up there also. Oh, a little 4 wide, a little contact, and Wetzel's going around. And this is big. Chad Coleman's in it. Looks like J. Randall Watkins getting a piece of it. I think the 78's got some damage, obviously, there of Jordan. And the big wreck in lap 22 brings out the caution. And all of a sudden there, I saw the 9 just jump out of line there. Let's see what transpires here. Oh, bump draft gone wrong. 5 gets into him, and it clobbers the 09. 54 gets a piece of it. Yoakum involved also, it looks like, in the 8. So I'm counting about 7 or 8, maybe 9 trucks involved in this one. Maybe not as big as it could have been. Let's hit the old pause button. It gives me a chance to go on board with somebody real quickly. So let's go on board with Burgess here in the 98, as he's back behind it, actually. We'll get you a good look of it. He's lost a draft as this thing takes place. You're going to see right there, it all starts. What's the right thing to do? Stop the truck. On board with Wetzel. Ouch. And you see all these trucks on pit road now, trying to get damage fixed. If not, unfortunately, the end of their night. All right, so Pedro Mejica leads, and we did have some pit stops here. It looks like some of the trucks that were involved in that wreck, obviously on pit road, a lot of them getting damage fixed. Matter of fact, there's a lot of trucks getting damage fixed. So that was a bigger wreck than I thought. Is I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 trucks getting damage fixed from that accident alone right now. Obviously, Beasley and Falkingham were from the first accident, so this field is quickly shrinking. So I started to talk about it a little bit with Sam, as he made mention. Just going to kind of go into personal details here for a second. Some of you might know I am a FedEx employee, so I do. I'm actually a manager, so I don't even deliver packages. Well, I'm not supposed to anymore. But obviously, there's been some issues at our job that have come into play when it comes to an illness. We'll just call it. Keep it kind of private. That is kicked in, and unfortunately, because of that. I'm back on the road delivering a little bit with us being a little short-handed, and it has caused me to work late a lot of nights. And unfortunately, this week there were a couple broadcasts that were missed. I know one of them we're going to make up here this week, but I'm putting it out there now just to all the viewers and stuff that throughout the rest of this month, I can't promise really anything. I'm going to talk to all the owners, obviously, throughout the week, and they all pretty much have found out. Now, Sundays obviously should not be an issue because we don't work most Sundays, but yeah, just want to get that out there, that there could be nights where I say I'm on the air and then the next night I show up and I'm not on the air, or you show up, I should say. So just be aware of that in the future. And of course, those broadcasts will be made up, so on and so forth, like the American Open Wheel Racing Series that made its debut on Thursday night. We were supposed to broadcast that. Unfortunately, I was stuck at work until midnight, so we'll get that on the air. Hopefully, I want to do it tomorrow, but again, no promises. So we'll just have to see how it all transpires. But appreciate everybody working with me and stuff. And yeah, it's an unfortunate situation that has come up, and we will go from there. And we will go green this time by Pedro Mojica, Kevin D. Brown, Mike Kelly, Michael Muncie. Uh-oh. Is the Applebee's dinner coming tonight? Or wherever he was going to go? Chili's? I forget the name. It's been too long. Or is he stuck with ramen noodles again? He's in that 91 truck. 74, John Barry up in 5th. Look at this. Kevin's going to take the lead. He's got the 91 of Michael Muncie looking to take the lead, but nobody goes with him. Six laps before the end of the stage, and we'll give away stage points. Randy Yoakum still on pit road. That's why you're seeing the timer go down there at the bottom right now. As the 74 just continues to push the 93 around the track. One of Mondesi up there, the third position. Mojica there at fourth. Mike Kelly, your top five. Obviously, Bunsey has fallen back to sixth now with Cal and Tony. Skirbo, Burgess, Sigmund now 10th. And that is the last of the 10 cars or 10 trucks that really don't have much damage, if any, on their trucks from the first two accidents. Down to 15 trucks left on the track. We have 9. Make that 10 on the lead lap, as I mentioned. So just to kind of give you a heads up of where we're at right now standing-wise. They go through 3 and 4. Speeds of over 230 miles an hour in this pack. No restrictor plates or tapered spacers or anything like that on these trucks at all for the setup at this track. They just let them rip. So if you've never run this track before and you're watching this for the first time, yep, a Cup car around here goes about 250. Indy car around here is about the same speed, actually. As here comes that 21 to the outside. With help from Mojica. Now, out of all the trucks that are damaged, you see the 11... or the 03 in the 11th position, Noah Carmichael. There's Jimmy Coleman with damage on his truck. Christopher Williams is on his truck. Kevin England, he's got some damage on his truck. Jeff Ryan's still out there. He's got a little bit of damage on his. Who else is out there right now? Richard Beasley's back on track. And that is about it right now. Everybody else is kind of parked on pit road. Either getting damage fixed or getting an engine maybe, or just said, hey, screw it, I'm done tonight. As look at this, Mike Kelly, the Jags number 2. Very interesting when you see the speed difference between these damaged trucks and the ones in the pack. Probably going less than 200 mile an hour, and here these guys are going 230 around here. Oh, 21's going to get turned. Montesi brings out the caution. Oh, that's going to be a mark. Not sure if anybody else got it. And this is right at the halfway break as Kevin Brown is going to take the stage point win. Mike Kelly going to be second, Barry third, Muncie fourth, Mojica, Calantoni, Skirbo, Burgess, Montesi, and Sigmund. It looks like, well, I guess that's going to come down to who crosses the line first. There goes Sigmund going by, so we'll see how that's going to get scored. But unfortunate break there as the caution comes out for the wreck. When the stage points were going to be awarded. Let's see what happens to Mike. Oh, 58 took him 3 wide. He gets tagged and spun around, and that was a great job to hold the line right in the middle there. Watch this. Bink. You got to be careful not to high side the truck, which I don't know if you can do in iRacing. I guess you could. I've done it on like a road course in another vehicle. So caution out here for the third time. Gives us an opportunity to talk about our partners at the All right, just got distracted there by something. Anyways, a 93 and a 2 coming down pit road here. We'll talk about our partners here just a second as we watch pit stops. Heard some kind of weird noise outside. And race off pit road going to be easily won by John Barry in the 74. Calantoni will come off second. Let's go back to talk about our partners real quickly, though, at Celiac Disease Foundation. Of course, I've shared the story about my daughter who is about to turn 3 next month, or actually this month. On the 18th, she is someone who was diagnosed a little over a year ago with celiac, which is an autoimmune disease that affects the lower intestines. It actually gets attacked when you eat gluten. And the gluten obviously attacks the lower intestines and causes all types of issues. And it's one of the more underrated diseases in the world that a lot of people have and don't realize it. And there's so many different symptoms and so many different factors that come into play. You can check out all those symptoms and things like that, or if you happen to know you have celiac or know someone who does, you can go over to celiac.org. I have a link down below in the race description. Or if you're interested in maybe donating some money over to the great group of the Celiac Disease Foundation, you can do so by going to celiac.org and show your support. But the main goal for us here on the Captain Esports Network is to bring awareness to celiac, because believe it or not, there might be somebody in this race right here, there might be somebody watching on the stream right now, or somebody who eventually watches this stream that might not even know they have it and trying to figure out what's wrong. They could be having some kind of stomach issues or some kind of anything from throwing up to going to the bathroom a lot to feeling lethargic to whatever. And I now realize that's the issue. And as you see, there's so many great stores out there from, depending on where you live, Kroger, Ingles, just to name a couple that, you know, have been sitting there, and you can walk into the store and you see marked gluten-free stuff. And it's because how big of a deal this is becoming. So make sure you check out celiac.org to get information about what the disease is and what you can do to help bring awareness. All right, so John Barry's going to lead as we come to the green flag past the halfway point. John Barry will be the leader, as I mentioned. Kevin Brown second. Michael Muncie, Tony Skirbo, Joseph Burgess there in the 5th position now. Mike Kelly, Doug Sigmund, Pedro Mojica, Anthony Calantoni, and Mike Montesi are top 10. We'll have to see how off the pace Mike will be. Shouldn't be too bad, as he only got some left side damage. Well, I see that hood get a little bit of damage on it, so we'll have to see how that goes for him. All right, here we go. Off turn 4, coming back to the green flag. 28 laps to go. 91 right on that back bumper of the 74. Going to push him out here as we go green. And already you see the 93 getting shuffled out 3 wide. As that is Skirbo in that 29 in the middle. And the Rakitin truck going 3 wide up the middle. Mike Kelly getting pushed from Mojica, and all of a sudden it looks like an old Talladega tandem race. There you see already Montsesi up to the 5th position, so the damage shouldn't be affecting that 21 too much as these guys are going to go single file here, and I think you're going to see a little bit of patience come out of this group now and as they ride and know that they got to get to lap 64 to be able to win this thing. I say that as that white truck, and that is Sigmund, who is all of a sudden up in the 4th position. After riding in the back the whole entire time, he has decided time to get up front. A Pro Systems 04 truck. Your top 3 now single files. You see Sigmund battle with Burgess right there. He's got the 21 behind him helping, the 2 behind him, 98 and 93 on the inside line. Now the 74 is going to get shuffled out of line. To the back, Barry goes. As look who goes to the front. Michael Muncie. Going to bring Cal and Tony there with him, who's going to shoot the middle with, look at Montesi go up the middle. There's runs coming everywhere out here in these trucks. It's like each week you can't help but be impressed with some of these trucks and how they're, especially when they're out here racing at some of these tracks like Talladega, Daytona, and you get them out here at iRacing Superspeedway and these drivers in this Sim500 series as they race to try to be the Superspeedway King this season. And how they're able to just kind of work with each other. And yeah, we've had 2 big wrecks tonight and a solo spin, but for the most part, it's been some pretty wild racing out here on the track tonight. And they've done a good job to keep it clean. Well, Joseph Burgess has gone to the front with Mojica there at second now. So here's the planned up-and-coming schedule for this week. If everything obviously goes correct for me this week, this is the way things will shape up this week. Tomorrow night is the iRacing Truck Series presented by RD Designs. As you see, Mike Kelly shooting the middle with a super run. Look at this thing to the bottom side. He's gonna go from 7th to 1st down that straightaway. Holy moly, where'd that run come from? I look down the corner of my eye, I see this yellow truck moving on the bottom. But that series tomorrow night will be a gateway. Tomorrow night for that, 7:45 if we get to run that broadcast. And then if that happens immediately afterwards, that is when I plan to do the IndyCar broadcast for Thursday night. So we'll do that tomorrow night if everything works out. So hopefully we'll see everybody for that truck series. Whoa, easy back here. And Tuesday night we'll get the recruiting race hopefully in for the LSRL Xfinity Series presented by Grid Finder. I'm just going to leave it at that for there. So I'm going to go back as Kelly loses the lead here for a second. That run that he got, that is not the pass. He's already lost the lead at this point. I want to see this. Off of turn 2, he gets this run right here. That was pretty amazing. Just goes down the straightaway, gets the draft off of the 91, passes 1, passes 2, passes 3, passes 4, passes 5. Well, that makes you wonder if you could really win this race from anywhere on the track. I know we did see something similar to that in the GLSR exhibition race they ran here a couple weeks ago on Thanksgiving weekend. Had something similar to that, but that was because there was a whole lot of side drafting and things going on, and one truck went from like 11th to 1st as they crossed the line. But that's pretty impressive stuff right there, I'd say, as Mohican now leads with 21 to go. And I'm guessing as this race continues on, the racing's really going to pick up. Go bye-bye. Guess I'll be changing my password, huh? Now, who's going to go to victory lane tonight here at iRacing Superspeedway, race number 3 of the Superspeedway King Series? Saying racing, if you're in it, you can win it, especially on these super speedways, and that's what makes this very interesting when you see a schedule with these 3 tracks. Interesting thing here, they're going to come up on a pack of lapped cars that are damaged. I say a pack, it's 2 trucks, Scala. Oh, one's in the wall. Got a little loose off the corner there, and did a good job of keeping it in the fence to not cause an issue there as Mike Kelly goes back to the front. Robbie Kevin Brown to go past Jeff Ryan there in the 3 truck. Here's where you see those runs. Look at this. You can almost hear the pitch difference when the trucks enter and exit the corners, just because of the way they drop, and almost like a ramp off the corner feels or sounds like. So 17 laps to go. Tony Skirbo up in the front now. Mojica, Brown, Burgess, and Muncie, your top 5, and we should see one more pit stop before this race is over. I want to throw that little factor in there also. Daniel Falkingham leaves pit road, got himself a brand new engine, it looks like. Trying to get out there and gain some track position. Got a few spots it looks like he can gain in the next 16 laps. He can get up to the 18th position if he stays out there and runs all the laps. Noah Carmichael on pit road. So we've been green now for looks like roughly 33 laps. Nope, I'm reading this wrong. Sorry, never mind. I'm not 100% there tonight. The last pit lap was lap 33. So about 16 laps ago was the last time they were on pit road. So I'm guessing probably in the next 10 laps or so, if not a little bit shorter, you're going to see these trucks on pit road to take fuel only. Very impressed how Burgess has been able to draft on that high side and keep himself up there by himself. I don't know if that's maybe some fuel saving going on with these trucks or what's going on. But very interesting so far how that truck has been able to hold its own up there on that high side. Usually you need some help. He's actually going to lead that lap. Very impressive. So, of course, it's a 10-race schedule this season for this Superspeedway King Series. We are covering the first 5. And then another network will come on and do the last 5 to finish out the 10. And, of course, the Xfinity Series will be coming from Sim500 following that in the month of February. But obviously a lot of different series a part of this league. You could check out sim500.com and look at all the leagues they have. They broadcast every single night. They race every single night in all different types of cars and different types of tracks and just a fun series setup here that the owners and stuff have done. Shout out to Jeffrey Jattina, who's not here tonight. But, of course, every night you got the Cup Series on Monday nights. You got Super Late Models on Tuesdays. Xfinity, it says here, is on Wednesday, of course. That might be changing or whatever. Obviously, these are subject to change. I'm going off the text channels right now. You got the Dirt Series, of course, on Thursdays. A Midnight Truck Series on Friday. A Throwback Series on Saturday. And, of course, the Super Speedway Series that you're seeing here right now on the track. Well, there's stuff every night, so all different networks broadcasting it and stuff. So big shout out to Joey and the guys for doing a great job here. Is Burgess going to jump to the bottom now? Said if I can't take it on the high side, I'm taking it low. And a man who started dead last on the field up to the lead with 10 to go. We've had 3 cautions tonight, one decent-sized wreck and then one pretty big one there on the second caution and a single-car wreck on the third caution. And that's left us with about 10 trucks here in this lead pack with a chance to win this race, but 2 of them trying to run away here. So let's take a look really quickly here at pit strategy. And taking a look here, these are the laps where everybody pitted at. So first stop was at 16, and then the last stop was at 33. And we're at lap 55 right now, so we're at lap 22 when it comes to the last lap they pitted on. As you see, this is easily the longest length of stage we have gone in without a pit stop. So, again, I don't think these guys are good to go to the finish, but I have been proven wrong so many times. As we'll come to 7 laps to go this time by. Now, one thing in the broadcast I've done from this speedway that I usually bring up early, but today I'm bringing it late on purpose because it always plays a factor at the end of this race. And that is the turn 4 pit wall. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but the pit wall, somehow somebody will clobber it at full speed during either missing a wreck or getting spun or whatever. So we got to keep an eye on that situation here potentially happening. So Calantoni and Muncie trying to run away here. Kevin Brown third. Burgess and Kelly all in this pack here. As a matter of fact, all 10 trucks are in this pack and a chance to win. It's just a matter of who can get the right run at the right time. they come through turn 4, and they will come to 4 laps to go as Calantoni now leading this race. I'm really quickly learning that you do not want to be the leader of this race. To the outside comes the 98 with the first move here. Kelly's going to fill the inside line, maybe a little too soon. Nobody's really going to help him. But you know what? Look at that run he took on the outside. Once again, Burgess. There must be something about that high line that I don't know. Maybe it's a checkup or something? But he's going to lead this thing with 3 laps to go. Who is going to take round 3 tonight here at the iRacing Superspeedway? Brown's going to go to the front. I think Burgess gave it to him. Two laps to go. Chad Coleman won in round 1. John Barry in round 2. If you look at the 5th position, John Barry could be the first repeat winner this season, or will we go 3 for 3? As the pack is really starting to break up now. Montesi, I believe, is off the pace. Sigmund is off the pace. It looks like he might be getting close to out of fuel as the pack gets smaller and smaller. To pit road comes Skirbo. He is short on fuel. White flag, final lap. As Mike Kelly's going to go to the front. Here comes Barry in the 74. I assume these guys are good to go to the finish. Calantoni with help from Brown gets turned into the wall. As they race off turn 4. Between John Barry and Mike Kelly, here comes Muncie with a run to the bottom. 3 wide as they hit it across the line. It is John Barry. One 1/100th of a second separates he and Muncie, who finishes second, on his lid. So just like that, a 2-time winner in 3 races. As Barry has survived the carnage in that 74 truck once again. Matter of fact, back-to-back wins. And there goes the... It's all funny games. You hit the inside wall. I mean, this track's so wide. Oh, hits it again. That's awesome. Well-earned win there for the 74 tonight. Let's take a look at the finishing order tonight. 25 trucks started. And that was the qualifying results. How about the feature? Here we go. Barry wins it over Muncie. Mike Kelly finishing into third position. Kevin Brown, Doug Sigmund, your top five. Mojica, Montesi, Skirbo, and Burgess finishes ninth. Unfortunately, it looks like he ran out of fuel also. Callan Tony, Kevin England finishes 11th. Jimmy Coleman, Williams finishing 13th. Jeff Ryan, Noah Carmichael, Richard Beasley, Christopher Jordan, and Falkingham. Unfortunately, going to hurt that average just a little bit, that 3.5 average. Bobby Wetzel finishing 19th. And the rest of your grid, Coleman, Yoakum, Dalton, Baker, Watkins, and Eric Arnold, the 25th place finisher. As we go down to the top three finishers, we'll speak to the third place guy first, which is Mike Kelly. We spoke to him last week after a top three, and he does it again tonight. If I can find Mike Kelly. Ah, there he is, up here in the waiting room. I should look harder. If it was a snake, I'd be dead. As Mike joins us tonight here, third place finish tonight, and I think you touched every position possible in that last lap that you could be in at one point, as you went front to back to middle to third.
Yeah, I was all over the place there. That was a crazy finish. Good job for those guys getting me. I don't know what I could have done different. I mean, I thought I did everything right, but I knew it was going to be a drag race to the finish, and then it turned into three trucks, and I was trying to go to the bottom, and he was under. I wasn't trying to run into him, but I was trying to get to the bottom to make a run, and then I saw he was there at the last second, and we hit. He might have had it won if we wouldn't have touched.
Yeah, it was a close situation there. Kind of shades of Ron Bouchard in '81 when he won his only race at Talladega, thanks to Jeff Bodine and Earnhardt forgetting about him behind him. But a little throwback there. But still a fantastic race, and I know the green flag racing was pretty wild out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was nuts. I don't know if you had the camera trained on me at one time about the middle of the race. I was running 20th, and I went from 20th to 5th in one lap. So, and then you could really get runs, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I was trying to be patient. Yeah, I was trying to be patient there early, so I was hanging back, and then I was experimenting and got up to the front and barely missed a wreck, and then I barely missed another wreck, and I said, well, I'm going to race for stage points and then take it easy, but there wasn't many guys left by then. So overall, real good night. I led a lap, got good stage points, and had a shot at the win, so I'm happy.
Yeah, the one I saw was the one where you went from like 7th to 1st on the bottom.
On the inside, yeah.
And it was like
I was like, did I go below the yellow line there? I'm not sure.
Well, either way, nothing was said apparently, but so you did good there. Started 19th, finished third tonight. Shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
Oh, yeah, shout out to everybody at Sim500 for putting all this on, and this Sim500 Esports Racing League Superspeedway King Series is a lot of fun. I'm just trying to survive every race and take a shot at getting the points championship here. Thanks to all the sponsors. Thanks to you, Chris, and your broadcast crew for putting these races on. Enjoy watching them. Great group of guys here. It was a lot of fun, a lot of attrition. Look forward to next week.
Absolutely, Mike. Nice job tonight, man.
Thanks.
You too. As he finishes in the third position tonight, and the man that almost stole the race away, Michael Muncie, he came so close from finally getting that Chili's dinner, but he stuck with ramen noodles again for a third straight race. Michael Muncie finishes second. Happy? Disappointed?
Well, I was extremely happy when I first crossed the line because I thought I had a shot. I thought I had it won, and I was screaming and going nuts. And I kept like looking at the F2, and I was like, "Did I win? Did I win?" And then finally it was like, "Nope, second place." So I was extremely excited. I was happy on the last lap. I mean, we were saving fuel for so long too,
Right.
though. Heading into the last lap, I was still trying to save fuel. And everybody started picking up the pace a little bit, and I was in the tail end of that lead pack there, and that's exactly where I wanted to be because I know how this track is, and I know how crazy it gets, and I know that I didn't want to make my move until out of turn 4 on the straightaway because that front stretch is so long, and a lot of people will time it a little bit too early, and I timed it almost perfect to make it work, and maybe if we didn't touch it, I could have got it. And maybe if I just timed it just a second or two earlier, I would have had it. But I'm just glad because for the first time this season, I finished good, and I finished good in the stage points. I got some stage points for that. And I had to calm myself down with a few laps to go. I was like, I'm not going to wreck and kill the truck and finish, 12th or whatever and
Right.
ruin a good points day because I want to win the championship. But I'm extremely happy with the second place. I would have loved to have won, but a good points day, so that's what really counts.
It is, and still, you mentioned you got the bonus points too. You led a lap out there, did what you need to do to have a good bounce back after a rough 2 weeks so far, but still learned a lot this evening, and just some great momentum as you now go into next week and so on into the season.
Yep. Turning the tides a little bit. Had some bad luck first 2 weeks, so I'm just glad to have a good showing, get some good points. I just want to thank Full Range Outdoors, Mountain Job, Iron and Ash Tattoos, and everybody who helped support me. My wife, who just showed up. I assume she was watching. She wasn't watching. She just said so.
Yeah, I was going to say she was quiet tonight.
She was mad at me tonight. She wasn't
Oh.
watching, so yeah. But she'll be thrilled to know I almost won us some chilies. So overall, good night.
Well, great job tonight, man. And I was going to
Thanks,
say, if
man.
there's any
Appreciate
other
it.
shout-outs you want to give, go ahead, because this is usually where I say shout-outs whoever you like.
I just appreciate my beautiful wife for loving me so much and letting me race.
That is the sucking up right there part of this broadcast. All
That
right,
is,
great
that
job.
is.
Nice job, Mike.
All right, thank you, buddy. I appreciate the broadcast.
Yes, sir. As Michael Muncie there in the second place finisher tonight. Great job on his part. And then the guy that, I don't know, it's something going on here because you would think on a super speedway type series like this, it would not be repeat winners. And here, John Perry sets tonight for a second straight race in victory lane. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll talk about the battle out there because you were going front back. Obviously, you were in the middle a couple times. Just some wild racing there, and you were able to survive.
Yeah. iRacing Super Speedway is quite a bit different compared to Daytona and Talladega, where, like, the way you go into the corners, like, a lot of guys just swing up or down crazy. So, hang on a minute. I got, like, a bad cold, so I'm going to cough like
That's all
crazy, so I'm going to mute my mic a lot here.
You're all good.
But, like, people will swing up and down, and, like, first couple runs, racing was pretty good, and they start getting, like, 3 wide and stuff, like, I don't want to get out of this. And every time I got out of it, that's when they started wrecking. And then that last run, I didn't realize it was a fuel mileage run until, like, 2 laps after restart, and I realized, like, wait, how come no one's on my bumper at all? I'm like, oh, this is fuel mileage. So I got the hell out of there. I went straight to the back, and I think I was like half 3/4 throttle, like the whole run until like 2 to go. Actually, I didn't realize it was 2 to go until I looked down halfway down the back, and I looked like, oh wait, we're coming to the white. I need to go. And then it's just there were so few cars left towards the end of the race because I guess I don't know, the wrecks were just really wiping people out. There's a lot more, I guess. You could take more risk of what you want to do because if you did something stupid, you only lose like a couple spots. So that that was helpful. But the fuel mileage game there at the end was really interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it came down to 5 of you, it looks like, at the end, and I think all 5 of you at one point were in a position in the top 5 of a different number during that final lap. But talk about the run you had, and obviously Mr. Muncie about snuck up there, and as I said a minute ago, Ron Bouchard you guys.
Yeah. The run there towards the end is like I kind of felt like some of those guys were still saving fuel in the last lap, and I'm not good with names in this league yet, so I don't even remember what the car looked.
Welcome to the club.
But someone off 2 swung up high, and like, well, I had to run. I'm just gonna push them past the person in front of them. I'm just gonna do what I did last time. Just push that person forward and coming off forward, go there outside, and not wreck them this time.
Right.
Which I didn't wreck them this time, so I'm happy about that. But just go the outside and pass them there. But the coming to the line, I looked over to my left, and I guess it was Muncie. I looked over, and I saw someone just soaring forward, like, oh, I just lost this race. And because on my screen it looked like they beat me to the line. Then I looked at the score and it said it was P1. It's like, wait, I won? Like, I was really surprised. I thought they beat me to the line. So I knew that third car was going to get like a big run because the pull on these trucks is so huge.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw it on 1/1000. It's like, ooh, that was kind of lucky.
Well, great job tonight, and congratulations on your second straight win, and shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
Thank you for broadcasting. Thank these guys for putting the league on, since this is really the only racing I do now. Shout out for Daniel for getting me into this league again. He somehow blew his motor up without hitting anything.
I was wondering.
Apparently, when that first wreck happened, I guess he slowed up or whatever to misdirect. He hit the transition from the banking onto the apron, and it killed the motor. I have no idea how he did that, but Daniel finds ways to do something dumb. So shout out for Daniel for throwing away the points lead in the greatest way possible by just blowing up the motor for no reason. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody who I work with at HES Aircraft Ground Services. Shout out to John for not firing me yet. Shout out to Dylan because he likes me to give him shout outs whenever I get interviewed. And shout out to Russell, who's now number 1 on my list, and Dylan has fallen down to number 3. He's now behind Trenton, and they'll know what I'm talking about when that's brought up at work.
All right,
So,
well, we're going to leave that one between you guys. Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations on the second straight win, and let's see if we can go get 3 next week.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. John Berry, the winner here this evening at the iRacing Super Speedway. Congratulations to him, and appreciate everybody for joining us tonight, as obviously it was a very wild night, as it's been the first 3 races of the season. So if you had to take a wild guess of how next week's going to be, yep, it's going to be pretty wild. So make sure you come back here next Sunday night, as we'll be live at 8:45 Eastern Time as we get you ready for race number 4 of the Super Speedway King Series. So big shout out to Sim500 and all the fans, all the drivers, and everybody for allowing us to be a part of this broadcast. It was definitely a lot of fun this evening. And as always, remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!